Hey yo folks, how you doing? Kim here with just a little bit of a let's play vid just to ease things down a bit. Gonna be playing a little bit of Wasteless Sun, a PC indie game that came out on Steam last year, I think. I think it came out, it had a Kickstarter and then it was released last year. It's a fairly straightforward indie game powered by a Unity engine, so easily accessible for everyone. And I thought that this game would be a nice way also for me to play around with the brand new 60 FPS feature that YouTube's got going at the moment. So if you do happen to have a Google Chrome, it's only available on Google Chrome at the moment, annoyingly, but then you can see this in lovely 60 frames per second, crystal clear, smooth action, or as smooth as Fraps will get it. But anyway, so this is a game, I picked this up on Steam sale recently. I think it was one of the weeklies, and I've been playing it quite a lot. It's quite addictive. It's the basic aim of the game is that you race through regions which are generated. The sort of map regenerates itself daily, so if I was to play the game tomorrow, it wouldn't necessarily be a completely different map. It would still have a fairly similar structure, but a lot of the obstacles would be in different orders and whatnot. It gets harder as you go, and basically it continues in the classic arcade style until you die. And the basic aim is just to score as many points as you can. And if you look up in the sky yonder, you'll see the sun, and of course the main aim is to waste the sun. Your ship is powered by solar energy, so when the sun goes down, game's over. You don't have any more puff. Oop. And of course you die in one hit. At present I'm at the maximum level you can go, so there's not really many tasks. I will reset the game shortly, and you can see what other sort of things we've got to play with here. But if I go to configure the ship, you can see some of the power-ups you've got. I've got a magnet which allows me to grab power-ups or tries as well, which score your points from even further away. I can get some jumps going. I've got a battery, I've got max storage, and I've got some turning jets. So let's play around a bit. Let's see. I'll just go with a vanilla ship for the moment and just see how far we go. And kind of get serious about this now. But yes, this is definitely a game that I would quite recommend picking up. I mean, it's been out for a year. I don't think many people play it anymore. I mean, I think it was fairly popular when it came out. I think a few people played it anyway, but not that many play it now. But it is quite a lot of fun, and it is very, very addictive. I mean, seriously, I've been playing it to quite an annoying degree over the past days, especially because I've had all the challenges and that you have to do to sort of raise your level, and I've been sort of going through them, and you get quite a lot of different ones. You get score, say, 1,000,000 points, spend X amount of time in air, collect tries in air. Some of the hardest challenges are the ones, there are challenges where you can only turn in one direction, because if you keep turning left and left, the map does kind of loop the region, that is. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm brilliant at the game. I mean, if you look on YouTube, you can see some quite amazing ones of this game. I mean, there's one that I was watching just a minute ago, actually. Some guy was getting 250 million points on this game. I mean, that's, like, just ridiculous. I mean, the one went for 45 minutes, and you can tell, I think, watching that this is quite a fast-paced game as it goes. I'm lagging a little here. Now, I've just warped myself to another region. My FPS has gone really downhill, which is annoying. I mean, I'm normally good when I play this game for about 1,000,000 points, so you can also jump as well. You also grab, what I just grabbed there are boosters, which are very important. You need to grab those every once in a while because they make your ship faster and they make that sun rise a little bit higher in the sky. Basically, the boosters give you more time. And when you get a perfect region, you get a few tries as well here, and another power-up ideally. Another booster usually. You can get boosters, you can get jumps, although you can only have I normally only have it so I can only have one jump at a time myself. And you also can get shields as well, which sort of function as an extra life when you collide with a wall. Now I notice as we get into the 4th region, the game becomes... It does have a little sort of... there is a sort of sense with Waste in the Sun that you're kind of racing against the apocalypse as well. Maybe if I don't crash you'll see what I mean. And the sun is, and the music sort of changes. It all gets quite tense as we sort of get near to the end of the one. But thankfully we just got a booster, so we should be okay for the 4th region. I mean, especially when you're trying to do tasks and that, this game can get very tense a lot of the time. It is a very fun game. Ooh. See, and but you see that it's kind of like there's a bit of an alien invasion going on theme, especially when you get sort of past the 5th region. The world sort of changes. I mean, I've only got as far as region 7, I think, because where I've just about managed to get to. I'm normally good for about 1,000,000 points in a run, normally anyway. There's also an apocalypse mode, which I'll check out in a minute, but I'll just go through some more one here quickly. My FPS is acting annoyingly. You can also, as you might have just saw there, I'll give a chance to demonstrate a bit. If you make a sort of extreme right turn and then immediately shift left, you can, in the sort of classic Star Fox Afterburner fashion, do a barrel roll. I'll get a chance to show it off a bit more between regions. I'm nice to go out. But yeah, I mean, this game, if you're familiar with sort of the likes of, say, see, that's what happens when you try to show off. You crash into a barrier a lot of the time. This game kind of reminds me of, I think, I was kind of thinking that what sort of like influences they might have. Bloody hell. It's very hard to play, listen, to talk. Very, very hard to play, listen, talk. Yes, it kind of reminds me of, if you ever played a 90s sort of shareware game called Skyroads, it kind of reminds me of that in a sense. It has a sort of similar sort of simplistic aesthetic to it, which I quite like. Very sort of metallic, very refined, very modern looking, I'd say, in a sort of resish style-y also, maybe. All very deliberate shapes and whatnot. And it gets that sort of similar adrenaline kick you get out of something like F-Zero, to be honest, as well. Even though it's not a racing game, there's no tracks or anything, it's just sort of wasteland regions. And if I was to go really old school, especially when you're really weaving and dodging and weaving through the barriers, it kind of reminds me a bit of one of my all-time favourite games, which is Death Chase on the Spectrum. I mean, that's ages old, that's like 30 years old, but I get a sort of similar kick out of this, even though I'm not blowing up bikers or anything. Yes, it does give you that that nice brief kick of being a sort of ace pilot, at least for a time. I'm sorry, I'm trying to show off the sort of 60 frames per second here. My FPS is kind of going all over the place, so this might only be intermittently 60 frames, but yeah, we'll see. It's sort of going to 60, then going down and locking itself at 35. Basically, Fraps is being an arse, is what's happening. But you don't want to know about that. Let's just stick on. I'll do this. I have another sort of quick casual one of this, and then I shall reset the game, and then I can actually show you some of the tasks that you have to do that sort of keep the gameplay going. And Well, actually, no. Before that, I'll go and have a quick one at Apocalypse mode and show you what that's like. Actually, do I really want to reset the game? Just for you guys? It took me a long time to get to this position. Maybe I won't do that, but I will show off Apocalypse mode. Yeah, so this game, as I said, there was a Kickstarter for it. Not particularly major Kickstarter. I think it was, I don't remember exactly how much it was they asked for, but they got it funded. And as I said, it's powered by Unity. And I mean, Unity's something that I'm kind of... because of what I'm sort of doing now, I'm kind of sort of interested in looking at sort of things like that more. Sort of toying with ideas that I have. I mean, Unity is very complex software, so I'm not sure. Well, it's complex, although perhaps not as complex as, say, doing your own sort of majorly coding from the ground up. I mean, it is sort of fairly easy for people to access, but hard for people to actually master and learn. So, I mean, it's kind of great that this sort of, it's still, in a sense, kind of homespun coding, or software that's fairly open access to everybody, that's a bit more plug and play rather than sort of just strict balls to the wall coding. As you can see, there's the emergency portal. So I mean, it's nice to see a sort of game like this come around from such an engine. A game that theoretically anyone could develop if they had, you know, the skills. And the resources are there for people. Anyways, enough sort of gubbins like that. Let's have a quick look at Apocalypse mode. Apocalypse mode is pretty much as it says. You see how long you kind of tend to last here. Bloody hell, couldn't turn in time. And this is even only scratched surface. This is kind of the extreme difficulty mode. There are lots of achievements associated with this if you can pass through a region of it, or even like... oh, bloody hell. Even passing through like 3 regions or 5 regions of this, you can get achievements. I mean, I can't see how that would be actually possible, but you can. Oh, Lord. But yes, as I mentioned, with this game, the world resets itself every 24 hours. So you do get, so that's, you know, you do get a fairly fresh experience with this game a lot of the time. It's not always just same. I mean, when I think of, you know, some other games that have kind of really been sort of hurt by... right. Okay. That's about as good as I get in Apocalypse. I mean, a lot of games like this have kind of been hurt by having that sort of lack of variety about them, if it was always the sort of exact same course that you were running. But this one, I mean, I wouldn't say it was like a major, absolutely amazing must-play game, but for a bit of like screwing around, a sort of like 20-minute blast here and there, it has that appeal to it. Let's waste the sun. It's sort of like similar to Trials in that sense as well. In that it's the sort of game you wouldn't necessarily play it for hours on end. It's not that sort of engrossing, but a quick 20-minute casual blast. I mean, this is also something, I'm not sure if it is, but it's something I'd love to see on a mobile phone, let's say. I mean, maybe it is, for all I know. I mean, I don't exactly know much about modern mobile software beyond Kim Kardashian Hollywood, but it has, I guess, I do know of like Temple Run and things like that, and I guess this also has that similar sort of style of play, similar sort of themes, similar what they're going for. Get as far as you can, get as high a score as you can. But yes, this is a game that I highly recommend, and especially when you're starting out, the tasks that you have to get up to level 25 and unlock all of these power-ups as well definitely keep pulling you in and in. I mean, if there's one thing I would say, it's that level 25 seems a bit low. I mean, I'm at level 25 and there's nothing more that I can unlock. There's no more tasks that have been set to me. And sort of the last tasks were like get 1,000,000 points, which isn't, I mean, to me anyway, although I've been playing it and I've got fairly good at the game, seemed a bit easy. I mean, I was thinking of maybe some more like extreme challenges could be coming up, like get 10,000,000 points, get 50,000,000 points, but then level 25 it just kind of ends and it's like, oh, we don't have anything more for you, which I think is a bit unfortunate. I don't think it would have made that much more work to sort of get some more random challenges going and sort of increase the difficulty of it, perhaps even raise the level up to 50. I mean, I'm not sure if there's enough interest in the game for that to happen now, for that to be patched in. But I mean, it's something I wouldn't mind seeing. It's perhaps one of the only real, what I'd say, major flaws of the game is that perhaps the actual sort of task point of view, that sort of challenge maybe runs out a bit quickly. But then, as I said, it's still kind of a bite-sized game anyways. Anyway, I shall finish this one, see how far we get with it, and then I shall call this quits. I shall perhaps be doing some more of these videos, these more sort of simple videos. They're about all I have time for currently. Nice to do them, and especially now that YouTube has the 60 FPS feature, I mean, that is a definite plus point. That's definitely makes me want to do videos that are sort of more just playing a game and chilling out. I mean, I have a massive Steam backlog, so I could be doing something related to that, just going through games, like bite-sized videos as and when. One thing I kind of like doing, I'm probably not going to get to see it, sometimes if you hit those circles at a funny angle, you can go way, way, way up in the air, which is kind of fun. It's kind of risky to do though. And there's also, I haven't got a chance, there were also, there was one thing you might have just caught a very brief glimpse of. There's also portals in this game, because, you know, it's an indie game, so there's got to be portals somewhere, hasn't there? And there's even one of the portals I had actually was a direct reference to the game portal. But yeah, those portals can take you to sort of alternate levels, and you can occasionally access them as you find them, as you're flying your way through the region. Music's pretty alright too. It sort of has a nice sort of sunrisey type feeling. I don't especially like the big drummy track that was in the last region, but yeah, generally the music here is okay. Nice little pizzicato strings. Bop, 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 bop. Bombs dropping. It's just all very nice and clean, which I do kind of like when it comes to sort of an aesthetic point of view. It's as clean as a posh London apartment. Oh god, I'm way away from that. Oh, there we go. A swanky early noughties London apartment where you'd listen to Top Loader and things like that. That's what this reminds me of, aesthetic-wise. Maybe not Top Loader, that's a bit of an insult in this game actually. That one I always find quite intimidating when those big massive blocks come down. Okay, so we're in Region 7 now, and still got the sun fairly up in the sky. I could do with a portal though, an emergency one that is. No word of a lie, this is about as far as I've got. Oh god, I'm blinded by the light. Jumped my way out of it. Let me see if I can get through this without crashing, and then you can see the sort of more traditional sort of finish. I probably... Ah, God, the bloody... Nah, never mind. Okay, so anyway, that's a bit of Waste the Sun there. As I said, it's not... has been out for a while, so it's not... I don't think there's that many people playing it on the leaderboards. But I mean... Yeah, I mean, if we go down, I mean, the scores perhaps are not as amazing as they could be. I mean, there's me at number 26. I mean, is there an all-time, or... There is an all-time. What's the... Bloody hell. The all-time score is 2 point... That seems to be like the maximum you can get, I guess. There's like 8 people with that same mark. Jesus wept. Anyways, so yes, as I said, there's not that many people playing this game these days, but it is worth a punt if you're looking for something quick and fast on Steam, and it's often on sale. I usually see it in the weeklies for about £4, I think I paid for it. 6 quid, maybe 6 quid tops. I think I paid, and I think it's a lot less than that. I think it's about £3.50. So yeah, anyway, worth checking out. So yeah, I shall end this brief little video, and hope you enjoyed it. Perhaps make some more some point along the road. And yeah, I shall see you folks later. So much love and all that kissy kissy. Mwah. Bye bye bye.